Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ask Geoff and Lauren. We're here to answer your questions about the double bass, and you know what to do. If you have one, you can post it in the comments below, and we'll do our very best to get to it in a future episode. Today we're going to be talking about the cello repertoire played on double bass, and this is something that I'm really interested to hear Lauren's view on. She's a lot more experienced in this area than I am. And the question is from Joshua, and he's saying, can we talk about cello pieces, particularly the concertos done on double bass? Is it worth it, and do we as bass players give the proper respect to cello pieces? So I was
yes. In filming. No,
we were just chatting beforehand about the one that I really like is this recording on YouTube of Bozo Paradish playing Haydn Cello Concerto in C, we think is the piece.
So I think that's the one.
I'll share that in the links below, and that's one that just blows my mind. And Geoff Bradetich playing the Elgar.
The Elgar. Yeah, that one's unbelievable. I mean, there are so many recordings of just unbelievable interpretations.
Do you think it's a worthwhile endeavour then, looking at cello pieces for double bass? Yeah,
I do. I mean, my biggest piece that is my number one life, up until this point was my big thing was the Herbert Cello Concerto, which isn't as well known as the Dvorak or the Haydn or the Elgar, but I remember the first time I heard it when I was in high school, I was like, I'm going to figure out how to play that. I'm going to do it. And then, 6-7 years later, I finally did it, and it took me forever to learn and to adapt for the instrument. But I mean, I think it's worthwhile. I think it's great. And cellists might have a different opinion than we do, but I think you also have to pick the right piece to do. I think the Elgar works phenomenally well, and it also helps that Mr. Bradetich is, a beast. So it works great. And I've heard a few people do that, and it always just sounds really, really nice because it's so dark. The Haydn Cello Concerto that Bozo does is just amazing, and also he's stunning. I think he uses a high C for that one, which is cool because it gives it that, a brighter tone, that cellists have. There are some pieces that I don't think work as well, and I think you just have to use your discretion. I remember a friend of mine at UNT, Daniel Nix, who's amazing, did the Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto, and it was amazing, So there's a lot of examples of people doing that really well, but there also are a lot of pieces that just don't. I don't know. They just don't.
People are so familiar with the Dvorak, and it's played so beautifully, and you've heard it, before, and then you've got to really be bringing your A game. I think it's the same with the cello suites, actually. Just to sort of, move slightly to one side here, is that the problem is that there's just so many beautiful versions that you can listen to. Played on the cello that absolutely just a perfection,
Absolutely.
And then to go there on the double bass is a real challenge because physically it's so much harder, I mean, you've played the Bach before, Lauren. Have you got any thoughts on on that?
I mean, I've played 5 of the 6 and then the prelude to the 6th before I had a neighbor that kept banging on my.
Oh, if you were playing Bach next door to me, Lauren, I'd love it.
I know, but I don't think she liked it very much, so I had to stop, and then I kind of did something else before I moved. But anyway, the Bach. I mean, the thing about that is I totally get it. You've got thousands of recordings of cellists that are just killing it. And then another infinite number of bass players that are also killing it. Especially of the first suite and the third suite. But I think that the performance is, of course, important, but it's also, you don't learn pieces only for the sake of performing them, and I know that sounds crazy because that's what you do, but, for the Bach, I mean, the Bach is anything written by Bach or any, major composer that's, really well respected. And I think you get more out of it than just being able to say, I play this, I mean, obviously it's a piece that you love and that's important. But, with the Bach, that learning those pieces just taught me so much about musicality and phrasing. And the same with, the Beethoven cello sonata, and I'm sure it's the same with the Haydn, with the Herbert. I mean, these are all just like really beautiful pieces of music. And we do have our own repertoire written for us, but, it's just different avenues. And it's also another way for you to extend your technique. So, yeah, I mean, I think that there are some pieces that don't translate as well. And the Bach cello suites is a bit of a point of contention for a lot of bass players, and I totally get it. But I think also you can learn just so much and improve your technique, improve your phrasing, improve, just make yourself better.
Yeah, thinking about phrasing in the Bach cello suites, where rhythmically there's so little variety, and you've really got to draw out these phrases, and it's it seems so personal. As soon as somebody starts playing those, particularly the G major one that we all know, it's just it can be done so many different ways, and these little intricacies I think it's a great thing to practice. So
absolutely.
Hopefully that's answered your question, Joshua. Please join us, chat below and let us know what your thoughts are, and if you do any recordings, we'd love to share some recordings of any cello repertoire that you're considering or you're working on, and I'll try and remember to put in the links for Lauren's one, the Herbert, the Bozo's Paradish is playing the Haydn, and Geoff Bradetich. So I'll make sure that they're all in there as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.